Good evening, everyone. It's now 5:30. We want to call our city board meeting of Mayor and Board of Aldermen into session. This is our Tuesday, December 12th, 2023 meeting. And welcome everyone to our meeting. We have a nice full crowd. We promise not to keep you long, but we promise to keep you well informed. The first thing we want to do is always, I ask everyone to bow for a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you humble as we know how tonight. Thank you for this season of giving. Thank you for giving your life to us so that we may live again. Thank you for the blessings that come upon our community each and every day, and each one of the citizens and the men and women that work for the city of Brownsville. We ask that you bring us together where others seek division, we seek unity. Where others seek discard and dismay, we seek you. In these blessings, we are so thankful in this season for our children and for our community and for all the people that give you the blessings where it all belongs. These things we're thankful for and thank you for. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. May we stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I want to thank everybody that's here tonight. We'll move through our agenda as printed. First, we have the approval of the minutes from our regular meeting November 7th. Have our aldermen had a chance to look at the minutes, and are there any questions concerning before we call for the motion? Hearing none, I'd like to call for the motion to approve the minutes as presented. Do I hear a motion? So moved. I hear a motion. Do I hear a second? It's moved and properly second. Any questions concerning or corrections? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, minutes approved. The next thing on our agenda for this evening is our ordinance number 1012, and that's the annexation of the Winfield Allen property. And also I want to welcome our junior aldermen to the meeting tonight. We'll give you a chance to be recognized as we move forward in the meeting. One of the things we do here in the city of Brownsville, when you look on your agenda, you'll see a resolution. Resolution is more like a set of rules, guidelines, which are used to govern the city. When you see an ordinance, it's the law. It requires two readings. The first reading comes before the city council. We either vote it up or down, and then if it's approved, we go to a second reading. And in the second reading, we have opportunity for the community to comment on each individual ordinances that's been presented. So tonight, what you have before you is a second reading of ordinance number 1012, which got favorable approval in our last city council meeting, and also got favorable approval from the planning commission. This is the annexation of the Winfield Allen property on the second reading. We have our planner here and our consultants here, so we double down on what we're doing for planning. At this time, Mr. Mayor, is this a standard annexation? Anything different about it?
Everything is still the same as it was last month. This is a standard annexation resolution. I think this might be the ordinance to zone. I don't have it in front of me. I can't remember, but everything's pretty standard.
Okay. All right. So what you have before us is a ordinance zoning the property into the city limits of Brownsville, and for junior aldermen, it's for the public as well. When we bring property into the city, it's at the request of the property owner. What the property owner then does is then their property goes on the city tax rolls, and they pay taxes. When they pay taxes, they receive services, and they'll be covered in another ordinance: police, fire, public sanitation, water control, stormwater damage, parks, recreations, and quality of life. So what you do is when you pay your taxes, you get a return in services. And those services are limited to the city limits on which Brownsville proper. So at this time, we're about to close out our session, open for public hearing. At this time, on the second reading of ordinance number 1012, are there any questions, comments, or concerns from the communities concerning this annexation? Okay. This property, I want to make sure we understand exactly what we're doing here. This is the ordinance number 1012, and as we stated, we'll go into the annexation later. This is ordinance is actually the zoning, as you stated, Mr. Mayor. This is zoning. It's going to be in an annexed piece of property. This ordinance is requiring that we go from general industrial to R3, which is high density, and this property will be used for housing in R3.
Mayor, let me clarify that just a little bit there, sir. First, the ordinance is basically broken down into two sections. The first section, it will the property that fronts on Highway 70, that portion of property will be zoned general industrial. To the southern part along the Mercer Road area of State Route 19, that portion will be R3.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. So one important word here, and. So it's gonna be general industrial and R3, which is high density.
Yes, sir.
Okay, with that clarification, are there any other questions or concerns from the community? Okay, hearing none, we'll close out our public hearing and go back into session. This time, I'd like to entertain a motion on the second reading, we approve ordinance number 1012. Do I hear a motion? Motion, do I hear a second? It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions, concern from the alderman? We do have in our packet a map that kind of breaks it down. Do y'all have any questions about ordinance number 1012? Okay, I think it's been several public meetings and hearings. This was the middle of the road. All right, this time we'd like to call for a vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Ordinance 1012 passes. Thank you for your clarification, Mr. Mayor. I'm glad you're here this evening.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ordinance number 1013, which again, ordinance number 1013 is on the second reading. This particular ordinance changed some of the language in the zoning. So, Mr. Mayor, can you give us a brief explanation before we go into our public hearing?
Yes, sir. This is an ordinance, I think it's relative to the changing of the nomenclature that's found regarding power generation plants. We were providing specificity throughout the ordinance regarding solar farms, and what this ordinance does is changes the nomenclature or the name, and just won't specifically, just spell out, just try to, I would guess, just single out rather solar farms, but we're looping them under power generation plants, and there are several different definitions regarding the different type of power generation plants, and solar farms will just be a part of that those general definitions and those regulations apropos to each particular type as also presented in the ordinance. So we just basically we're not singling out solar farms, we're looping them up under power generation plants.
Okay. With that being said, we'll close out our regular session, go into our public hearing. On ordinance number 1013, are there any questions or concerns from the public concerning this definition? Okay. Hearing none, we'll go back into our session. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 1013. Do I hear a motion? Motion. Do I hear a second? It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or concerns from the alderman? Okay, hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, ordinance number 1013 passes on the second reading. All right, next thing on our agenda for the evening is resolution. Those are two ordinances, now we have two resolutions. This resolution is concerning the annexation of the Winford property to provide a plan of services. As I've stated before, this plan of services contains but not limited to police protection, fire protection, water service, sanitary sewer service, natural gas, electric service, and solid waste collection. Road repair and construction, recreation facilities and programs, street lighting, planning, zoning, schools, animal control. So these are the services that are provided to Brownsville property. So at this time, we want to adopt a plan of service for this particular property. So property is located at US Highway 70, State Route 1, same road, and Mercer Road, which is State Route 19. At this time, are there any questions, concerns, or any clarification needed from our planner on resolution number 1058, which is a plan of services? Okay. Hearing none, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve resolution number 1058. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Do I hear a second? It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions, concerns on resolution number 1058, plan of services for this project?
Hey, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
We got Russ Stoops here from the utility department. Any issues there that you see?
No, we have services from either road, either highway.
Right. So this was pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, good point, Alderman Bishop, and thank you, Russ, Brownsville Energy Authority. Utilities are adjacent to the property. Okay? At this time, we have a motion on the floor to approve resolution number 1058. At This time we call for the vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, the ayes have it. Now we have resolution number 1059, which is annexation of the property that we just referred to with the plan of services. So this resolution has come with a property, at the request of the property owner, and they want to be annexed into the city. It's the same parcel of property along Highway 70 in Mercer Road. So at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve resolution number 1059. Do I hear a motion? Motion. Do I hear a second? Been moved and properly second. Any questions, concerns on resolution number 1059? Annexation. Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay? Annexation passes. All right. So now we're down to number 8 on our agenda for this evening. That's an action item. There's a mural that's been presented. I think you have a copy of it in your packet. It'll go on the Flex Fitness building right next to the existing mural that's already there. They complement each other from what I can see. It's just a simple action item, not a resolution or ordinance, but it does have to seek board approval. I'm going to propose that they meet the certificate of appropriateness through the Historic Zoning Commission, because this is inside the historic zone and gone through the proper channels before being presented to us. Are there any questions, concerns from the Alderman?
I'll make a motion.
I hear a motion. Do I hear a second? Been moved and properly second. Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay? Action item carries. All right, so mural has been approved. I know we've been trying to do some window dressing in our downtown area, and I can't tell you about the number of compliments we get about how our court square looks and how Brownsville is starting. It's not starting, but continues to look good. Let's say that. Okay, another action item. We just talked about the Brownsville Energy Authority. Have received a recommendation from the Brownsville Energy Authority. They reappoint Mr. Bill Lee to their board, governing board, along with Mr. Chapman and Ms. Flagg. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to reappoint Mr. Bill Lee to the BEA board. Do I hear a motion? Motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any questions, concerned about the appointment? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay. Y'all scared me there for a minute. All right. Bill Lee is scared, not the governor. I will Lee. All right. I like that dude. Next, we have 2 more reappointments to the Brownsville Housing Authority. One is a reappointment and one is a new appointment. The first one is reappointing Mr. Danny Merlin. I did make a phone call to Mr. Merlin. He said he serves as the vice chair. He wants to continue to serve on the role and is very supportive of the Brownsville Housing Authority. So at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to reappoint Mr. Danny Merlin to the Brownsville Housing Authority. Do I hear a motion? Motion. Do I hear a second? It's been moved and properly second. Any questions, concerns? Okay. Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay. The second appointment, this is a new appointment. This letter came from Ms. Brenda London at the Housing Authority. She has Ms. Jones here, Ms. Dolores Jones. Ms. Jones will represent the residents. One time she said that they did the residents for grant compliance, and she said they didn't, but now she feels that to be in compliance and to make sure the board is diversified, that they'd be a resident of the Brownsville Housing Authority that serves on the board as tradition. It's a 4-year term beginning January 10th. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion. We appoint Ms. Dolores Jones to the Brownsville Housing Authority. Do I hear a motion? Motion. Do I hear a second? Then move to proper second. Any questions, concerns from all? Hearing none, let's call for the vote. All those in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay. At this time, we have our community development report from Ms. Krista Matthews.
Good afternoon. Are there any questions concerning the community development report? We have one update on the multimodal grant. The right-of-way has been submitted to the TDOT for the Mercer Road project, so as soon as the right-of-way gets approved, it's still in process to start beginning spring, summer of 2024.
Okay.
And that's sidewalks.
Ms. Flagg has stated she's been championing this cause for at least 15 years. She's been going door to door to sign petitions. She said, if I can get this done, she can try it under several mayors. If we can get it done, she's gonna dance my wedding, but I gotta find some other mayor first. And so just hold on just a little longer, all right? So, but this is a safety issue, and I have people from all over the city come there because there's no shoulders there. There's residential housing there. There's commercial retail, your fast-paced clinic, your pharmacies in Walmart, your food is in Walmart. And people have to walk up and down that dangerous stretch of road. So we're gonna go as far as the money will take us. We were denied them, we got the grant. That's right. So just a status up there. People always ask the same thing. And you're right. There are no shoulders or sidewalks, very limited on it, and dangerous pedestrian way. So what we've done is we've got the multimodal grant for Mercer Road. We're applying for the CDBG grant to repave Hatchet. And we applied for the Surface Transportation grant to repave and do shoulder work on Anderson. So they take care of the busiest traffic ways, that have the most wear and tear and traffic on them, and then we'll move on to Macklemore and other streets and other parts of town. Those are our average traffic.
So, Christian, one other question. Are they on Lloyd Avenue, is that crossing, I think, are we done completely with that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. That's another one, took several years to get in process. Federal highway safety money that was passing through the government, trying to get it done with no match. We did a 10% match. It's taken quite some time, but it's done. We've got crossing arms there, and I know both of y'all reside very close to that intersection. And striping and asphalting, so the same thing for Safe Streets for All, which is an overall planning grant that Ms. Math is working on. Our child care grant, our home grants, safety departments, tourism and marketing. Simon has 3 grants he's working on. And we'll continue to, if you look at our overall budget, you'll see that we have an additional $4 million for revenue and expenditures, and they're all grant-based. So we'll continue to use grants for our community. Thank you, Ms. Math. Next, we have our financial management report. You know what? At this time, let's just take a minute to introduce our junior alderman again. I think we had some that weren't here last time, so Alderman Pugh. You ever been on the basketball team? Alderman Taylor.
Yes, sir. First of all, I'd like to introduce Chris Turner Jr.
Okay.
Currently attending Haywood High School. He's part of the football team. He's part of the Big Brother organization during his free time. He likes to play video games and spend time with his family. And he's proud to have the opportunity to help make a difference with the kind of preacher his son is a wow.
All right, let's give another round of applause.
My second one is Josiah Barnes. He is the son of Dr. Stephanie Barnes and Tiffany and Crystal Barnes. Josiah is an 11th grade student at the Haywood High School. Josiah is actively involved in ROTC, the Color Guard and drill team. Josiah currently has over 100 hours of community service. Josiah is an active member of Lord Salem Baptist Church, where he serves on the usher board. Josiah future plans to attend UT Martin and UT Knox as a major in political science. After graduating with a political science degree, Josiah plans to enlist in the United States Air Force and work in the citizen unit. Josiah enjoys keeping up with world politics and is dedicated to seeing a girl. Josiah hopes for the preacher is to be an educator, successful, and positive leader amongst his peers.
All right. And we have 2 of our aldermen that were appointed at our last meeting. Just one? Okay. Now, okay, go ahead.
Well, we have Ben Castellaw, who we introduced last month.
Right.
He is the son of Lavoy and Ashley Castellaw. Goes to school at Trinity, and he's even started his own business at such an early age. But Ben's a very capable young man, and we look forward to working with him. And our newest appointee this month is Smith Berry, who is the son of Lee Berry and Casey Berry. He goes to USJ in Jackson, where he's heavily involved in the theaters in school. He also works. He's proven that I've watched him down at Livingston's where he works, and I telling you, everybody else, all the other people are talking, he's cleaning tables and working. Got a work ethic, I think that we're gonna appreciate on this city board. So we appreciate you being here, appreciate you willing to serve, thank you, Smith, and look forward to working with you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. All right, so now we have our financial manager's report. Ms. Sherry Baxter.
Are there any questions or concerns with the expenditures and revenues for the month of November? Hearing none, we have one budget amendment this time, and this budget amendment is adding, some new grants to our current budget in the amount of $225,583.34. Each grant is listed there for your approval. Is there any questions?
Okay. We've been, and as favorably recognized from the comptroller's office, since I came to office, we traditionally in the past, budget amendments have all been done at the end of the year, but to make sure for transparency and for budgeting items and for budget amendments, you do them on a quarterly, but as needed basis, let's just say that. So tonight we're bringing dollars in, dollars out. Tina Turner Museum, Carver Dunbar, the Block Farm Experience, Marketing Grant, and Tennessee Tourism, for a total of $225,000, $583.34.
Mayor, I make a motion we approve the budget amendment as stated.
Okay, do I have a second? All right, any questions or concerns? Hearing none, we call for the vote. All in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Also, just for a matter of record keeping, I'd like to entertain a motion we approve the financial management report as presented. Do I hear a motion? So moved. Do I hear a second? Moved and proper second. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it know by the sign of aye. Those opposed, nay. Thank you, Ms. Bastion. We have a real quick, brief mayor's report for the evening. Congratulations again to our junior alderman. And some of these things that we see going forward, we will have you to take part in, participate in. We want to hear your input. We're going into a bicentennial year on 2024 for 200 years of celebration for history in the future of Brownsville, Tennessee. We want you to be a part of that conversation. And as we move forward, we had a business roundtable discussion with a group of developers and engineers, one medical doctor, and a whole group of people with vision from Nashville, Tennessee. Ms. Jackie Albari, who's originally from Brownsville, Tennessee, brought a group. I had a chance to speak on a panel discussion in Nashville. She invited me to give some information about Blue Oval City and what we're doing here, about the planning we're doing here, about how we want the vision of this community to continue and the heritage. So they came down, really great group. They asked a lot of good questions. They had a lot of input and come back. So what I told them, they were on their way to Memphis to another roundtable, because we don't want you passing by Brownsville on your way to Memphis without stopping and having a conversation with us. So it was very powerful and just a start by Gateway Series. As tradition, we gave away our turkeys in conjunction and partnership with the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Of course, now we give away gift cards to our nonprofits and we have 4 or 5 people that first come, first serve. It's called and rainy that day, but we still give back to the community. We still partner with the Steve Harvey Morning Show to do this. We had another group of visitors come through. These are all people from ECD. That's Miss Brooksy Carlton. You see you in the brown jacket. She has family roots here in Brownsville, Tennessee. So there were a lot of new people that work for ECD. Ms. Jody Sigler is a part of that group. She mentioned the 3-star grant. And I've been working with ECD for years. You see Mr. Tom Moore from Main Street there with us. And we've been working with ECD to do a majority of our grants and establish some relationships. So there's a lot of new people, a lot of young faces. So Brooksy took the time on the way to Blue Oval City. Once again, don't pass by us. Stop and talk to us. So we had a chance to look at the 4 welcome centers being built on the Court Square. We looked at some other visionary projects, and we came to Tour City Hall on the way back. So we appreciate them taking the time to come see us. Leadership Haywood. And we do have some members of Leadership Haywood in the audience tonight. Please stand, please stand. And introduce yourselves, please.
My name is Latonya Johnson, Administrative Assistant to Mayor David Livingston.
My name is Grant Simmons. I'm loan officer in South Bay.
My name is Claudette Fuqua. I'm a manager at Techner APEC.
Let's give them a round of applause. Thank y'all. So this year's Leadership Haywood class, the entire class came by once they made their rounds, and we had an opportunity to visit with them for a little bit and talk about what we're doing for the city of Brownsville. And we see Condricia Stewart is in that class from the city. and a lot of future leaders, people that work in the community, work through the community. So we were glad to welcome them to City Hall. That's all I have tonight, but I wanted to make sure, before we go any further, I want to make sure wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being a part of what happens in Brownsville, Tennessee. Okay? Next on our agenda, we have our Alderman reports. Alderman Pugh.
Yes, just wanted, on Parks and Rec, continued our meeting on last month. One of our main concerns there was our city pool, trying to get ready for the summer. Got a lot of repairs that are gonna be done and replacement, and a lot of brand new parts that running around in there right now. So hopefully we'll have it up and going for the children in the summertime. Just want to encourage everyone to keep our city clean during these holidays, and everybody just have a safe and a Merry Christmas.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Bishop.
Thank you, Mayor.
I want to see Pugh again.
I didn't know what to
Yeah, I'm about to double down. All right.
We had a library board meeting last night, and for those of you that don't know, Catherine Horn, who is the executive director of our library, runs the day-to-day operations, our head librarian. She had a stroke back a couple of months ago, and then her husband passed away, probably 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. She's back at work. You know, we got limited employees down there, but it's been a pretty rough time at the library. Staff at the library and the assistant directors really had to step up and run some of the day-to-day operations. But Ms. Horn is back. She's working through taking therapy. I think long-term, she seems like she's going to be able to heal and you know, continue on providing services support to the citizens that use the library in Haywood County. But just if you would just keep her in your thoughts and prayers through the holiday season, because it's going to be tough. She's had a lot with a long illness with her husband. If you have any problems, you have any issues at the library, you can come see me or you know, you can voice them there. But I think we're working through most of those, and we'll have a little ways to go. But if you would just keep her in your thoughts and prayers through the holiday season. And then also leaf removal. And our crews are working, and you know, I'm stopping and talking to them, and very briefly, but seeing them out on the road. So be patient. You know, I know we have, you know, you might have a party or might have family coming over or whatever, but you know, if those guys run from one side of the city to the other side of the city and this side of the city, they'll never get anything done. So be patient and let our public works department get the leak removed first and foremost to stop the clogging of the stormwater.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think we get that out of sequence sometimes. We think that's a personal service to the citizens of Brownsville, which it is, but ultimately we're trying to protect our stormwater drainage and keep our stormwater open. So if you would just be patient, and you know, you can tell those guys every now and then, as well as sanitation workers, when something goes right, how good a job you think they're doing.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Bishop. Alderman Black.
Thank you. Good evening. I have a report from the Brownsville Utility Department. TV bill for paying was $952,508.63. Haywood County unemployment rate for October was 4.7%. Again, in December 1, an average resident electric bill increase of approximately 1.33 is due to TVA fuel cost adjustments. DEA board voted to reappoint Mr. Bill Lee to serve another 4 years on the judge board. On this Friday night, December 15th, the Ward 2 is giving community Christmas party meeting.
A party meeting? Okay, party with a purpose.
Ward 2 is sponsoring this, but anyone that would like to attend, they're welcome to do so. It's always to the public, because it's not for Ward 2. So come out there and eat with us, play games with us. We're going to get a lot of good prizes away. Come, you're not going to just easy, we let them have, actually, we have about 10 gifts to give away for $20 a piece. Well, when we gave us 5 and Jack's, McDonald's, you name it, we got the biggest pretty awesome to go eat for the holiday. We got games, we have friends all that, but please come and we tell already. You have to put that amazing thing. And I apologize for this year, I didn't have the meeting like that I normally had. I hope that I'm gonna start back in February and have my monthly meetings, and I want y'all to come, because I have a lot of good stickers and I give out a lot of information. I had a young lady was calling me today, telling me she didn't know anything, so I cut off real short. I said, okay, listen to my meeting, you find out what's going on. So I want you all to get involved with the president and whatever's going on, because we need your support. And I would like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
I'm sure all of you all know Mr. Clinton T-shirt, but he's very, very, very sick and hearing your prayers.
Amen. Okay, Alderman Taylor?
Wish everybody Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thank you. Before we go to our public comment section, one thing I didn't have put in my mayor's report that Ford had a community impact meeting right here in this very room. So we've seen and I had a lot of talk and seen the potential for a lot of impact in the community, but this was a community development section where it brought in some nonprofits, it brought up some leaders from Fayette County mayor was here, Tipton County mayor was here, Mayor Livingston was here, and the conversation revolved around what is going to be best for this community moving forward. So don't think that we're not planning, talking, and then Attorney Banks was here as well, and we tried to keep that high level of view of what is going to take place, so that we make sure what is going to be the most bang for our buck. What is Ford going to invest in that's going to make a difference? They want to make a difference in the community, not just put a Band-Aid on some problems, but let's talk about solutions. So we had that opportunity here to meet with them. I think it was a productive start, not a finish by any means, but the conversation will continue. And we as leadership in this community will continue to fight for what's best for the people in the community, as well as welcoming those who come. I've always said we can't take the problems we have now and drag them with us into the future. We got to deal with them. We got to deal with them now. So we see a lot of money being invested in the planning, design guidelines, land use plans, accommodating solar farms, residential development. All these things require, sometimes it seems like it's taking a long time on my side of the table and on your side of the table too, but it's important to continue to beat that drum and talk about and fight for local support, local input, and local employment. So we'll continue to do that. At this time, as required by state law, passed in July of this year, if anyone has any comments, you're limited to 2 minutes about anything on tonight's agenda. Does anyone like to make any comments? Okay, all right. Have I forgotten anything? I'm gonna swear y'all in next month, so we'll make sure we try to get all your junior members here all at one time. And are there any department heads that have any department reports? All right, come on, Chief.
One thing, Mayor, we still have smoke alarms at the department. Anybody knows anyone needs a smoke alarm, we will come out and install it. Just wanted to mention that so nobody forgets. We will come put it in for free.
Okay. And Alderman Peters reminded, we did have a good Christmas parade this year, and thanks for all the participants that came forward. Chief Evans.
I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Remind everyone that you package and gift, keep your cars locked up. Please, please, please lock your cars, keep your weapons in your house. We're getting a lot of weapons on the street. People ask us how these kids get weapons. We're giving them to them. And be safe and be careful. We got a lot of people from out of state. Be aware of your surroundings and go out shopping. Just kind of look out for each other. If y'all need us for anything, call me. We'll have extra patrol out during the holidays. Y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Chief and Chief. No other department head reports, no comments from the community. And we will swear in our junior alderman next month. So at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved, right here, second. All right, everybody in favor, get up and go home. Merry Christmas.